Hey you guys, welcome back. I'm Funky Like Feathers, and today we're going to talk about the books that I'm reading for July. If there is a book that you are specifically looking forward to reading this July, let me know down in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. Okay, so for this month, I have a couple of books that I'm finishing up from last month, and then I also have other books that I'm going to start reading, and some that I'm hoping that I get to. Let's get started. So books that I started last month that I'm going to be finishing up this month. One is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. I am rereading this for a class with a couple of students, so I'm really excited to get this one finished. It is an amazing story. If you have not read this book, I cannot suggest it strongly enough. I have gone through this story more than once, and I just keep finding things to annotate, keep finding clues that she hid along the way that I wish I'd noticed the first time, but I find her so sneaky, which I love. So, and it's kind of the basis for the movie Clue, if you've never watched that. So I am definitely finishing this up this month. I'm super excited. And Then There Were None. Second book that I'm going to be finishing up this month is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This is one of the classics that I just absolutely adore. I cannot say enough amazing things about this story. If you have not read Jane Eyre, I, again, strongly suggest that you do. There's so many stories out there that are based on the original Jane Eyre story, so definitely check it out. If you want kind of a modern contemporary take on Jane Eyre that's a total spoof, check out My Plain Jane. I actually have it on my bookcase right up there. It's one of my favorites. It's a lot of fun. They take Jane Eyre and turn it into a ghost story and make it really kind of funny. So if you don't like the old traditional way of Charlotte Bronte's writing, definitely check out My Plain Jane. Finally, one of the books I'm going to be finishing up this month is The Maidens by the same author who wrote The Silent Patient. I'm really liking this book so far. I'm really excited to see if the twist is kind of what I'm expecting by the end of it. So we will see. I'm so close to being done with this one, you guys. I have just, look at that, so close. So I'm really excited to get to the end of that one. I guess I should also mention that I am editing a manuscript for some authors. So it's about halfway edited right now, so I'm going to be finishing that up this month. I'm very excited. It's an amazing story. It's actually part of a very large series by Rugolian Reeves. If you have not checked them out, make sure that you do. They have their books available on Amazon. So I'm going to be going through that as well. And now let's get into the books that I have not read yet. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the kids' books, and then we're going to go up from there. So some of the kids' books that I will be reading this month is the Haunted Library series. I have read this series before. It is actually one of my favorites. It's a lot of fun. There are some amazing characters that have been created in this. And of course, I love books, and the thought of living in a library with ghosts sounds dreamy. So this is a story about Claire and Kaz and the crazy adventures that they go on trying to get Kaz's family back together after their old schoolhouse is torn down. So this is a very fun series, especially if you're trying to get a kid between the ages of like 5 and 10 into reading. This will definitely get that jump started. Another kids series that I'm going to be reading this month is The Kingdom of Renly. Now, I have not read this series yet. It is kind of aimed at the 7 to 10 bracket. There's large print inside, lots of pictures. So it definitely has that younger vibe to it. There is a main character of male and female, so it's not specifically geared towards boys or girls, which I really do appreciate. However, when you get the box set, so I got the first 4 books in a box, right? And one of the coolest things that I love about this box set is they actually sent an enormous map as part of this set. This is a giant map, you guys. What? So I'm really excited about that. I love when books have maps in them. It just kind of helps you visualize the story better, especially when it comes to children's stories. So I definitely do love the fact that a giant map comes with the box set of the first 4 books of The Kingdom of Renly. So next, another kind of kids books, kind of moving in towards that 4th to 6th grade age bracket. I'm going to be reading the Magic Misfits Book 1 by Neil Patrick Harris. This is a very cool series. There are actually 4 books in this series, one for every suit. This one is the Diamonds, and it follows Carter. Carter's the main character of this one. For the next book, they actually follow a different main character. So throughout the series, you get a different main character each time. These two, I think they're hilarious. They're actually kind of the jokers, and I really wish that there was an extra book just for them. So it is very cool. You have this great mystery going on throughout the story. You follow these friends who are magicians. Carter ends up becoming part of their kind of friends group, and all of the crazy adventures that they go on while they're being kind of trying to evade this mysterious character throughout the entire time. There are some difficult things that are overcome. There is a topic of adoption. There is a topic of abandonment. There are some serious topics brought up in this story, but it is lightly touched on. So it is kind of presented in a way that allows kids to feel accessible to those kinds of things. There are also codes mixed into this book. So if you know somebody who does like codes, finding things, figuring things out, this is an amazing book for them. There's also how to accomplish magic tricks. They are throughout the book, how to accomplish the different tricks that are mentioned in the story. So that's also kind of cool. This is very, very fun. If you get the hardbacks, here's pro tip. If you get the hardcovers of the books, take the sleeve off your book and line all the books up. There will be another message along the back of the books. That's one thing that I found out, because I have one hardcover from this series, and it has another code. So it's kind of cool. There's little messages hidden in the books, and they kind of show you how to find out what the codes mean and everything like that by the end of the story. So definitely a cool series. So books that I want to jump into this month, because those weren't enough. So books I want to get into. I want to try the City of Bones series. I actually have books 1 and 2 from this series in the same theme as far as covers go. And I hear good things about it all the time. So I really want to check this out. This is book 1, obviously, of the City of Bones series. So I do want to try to get into this one this month. I'm really hoping that I do, because it looks exciting. The next book that I want to dive into tremendously is Crown of Midnight. This is book 2 in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I read Throne of Glass last month. There's also a prequel called Blade, The Assassin's Blade is the prequel to that. But this is the official book 2, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this. I'm barely into it. Like you can see, I just started this story, and it's already starting off well. So I'm excited to kind of delve into this. I'm going to be finishing this manuscript. I'm going to be finishing Jane Eyre. I'm going to be finishing The Maidens. I have a lot of things to finish. You know, I have a lot of homework this month. Let me know down in the comments what you are planning to read this next month. I would love to hear from you guys, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, you guys.